Okay, so I should start now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, hi, namaskar to everyone present here. I am Ankita Singh, your host of the day. Welcome you all in such an energetic day with my co-host Arindam Satpathy to our DPPG Express. We are so excited to come up with our first event of the News Village Club, Batch 2021, Department of Public Policy and Governance, BK School of Professional and Management Studies. न्यूज रूम हैंगआउट नाम तो देखा ही होगा. वेल फॉर्म भरा है तो नाम तो देखा ही होगा, राइट? तो ये एक स्पेशल इवेंट है हम सबके लिए टू इम्प्रूव आवर बॉडी लैंग्वेज, कॉन्फिडेंस, wording style, and most importantly, stage fear. Like, I have stage fear and I'm scared right now, but not showing it because this is my job to do. So moving forward, I would like to say something related to our department, that is DPPG, Department of Public Policy and Governance. DPPG has been established in the year 2020. The department is intended for improving the governance and public policy with a strong desire that develops and promotes the alternative solution to issue concerned with the society. So we Newsville Club is here with our new event called Newsroom Hangout. But wait, before that, do you know about anything about our club? Well, if you don't, I'm here to help you. So let me give you some highlights of our club, which is called Newsville. The News Club of BK School of Professional and Management Studies, Department of Public Policy and Governance, is strives towards the excellence to provide the authentic and strategic news to the student of the organization with a vision to make each and every student of the institute a competition ready and a market driven through various modes like virtual events, right? Like we are doing right now, right? Then our newsletter, DPPG Express, and many such. We had so far, not really we have, but our seniors have so far organized 3 events in which they had invited many great speakers from media world like Padma Shri Vishnu Pandya sir to the news anchor of TV9 Gujarati Jayesh Parkar. Now I would like to pass on the mic to my co-host Arindam Satpathy.
Hello. Am I audible and visible clearly?
Yes.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Arindam Satpathy joining here with my host and host Ankita Singh. Well, we know that MBA has lot of things to do with practical and realistic things. That's why we came here with an event, Newsroom Hangout, जहां हम बैठ के पंचायत की तरह हम लोग यहाँ पे न्यूज पे चर्चा करने वाले हैं. सो ये इवेंट भी है और इसीलिए इसको हम हैंगआउट भी बोल सकते हैं. सो वैसे तो ये इवेंट है पर साथ में कंपटीशन भी है. सो ऑफ कोर्स एवरी कंपटीशन हैज सम जज. So now we are very pleased to have Honorable Professor of our college, Mrs. Ankita Alok Sharma, with us as our today's judge. She has completed Masters in Business Administration and Master in Philosophy from Gujarat University and currently pursuing her PhD in Marketing from BK School of Business Management. And and she is also working as visiting faculty to BBA students since 9 years. Now I will request Ankita ma'am to say some words to all our amazing participants.
Good noon, all of you, dear students. And it's a pleasure being here in this program because news and all these, you know, things are actually needed in we should be aware of all the news and everything. So it is such a wonderful thing that I would see all of you as anchors and reporters in this program, and it will actually nourish your knowledge regarding how to speak confidently and your body language, that is non-verbal communication. So you know how to speak in that way also, that audience are actually attracted and they want to hear you. So it's a wonderful chance platform for all of you to be here and participate. And it's my pleasure to hear all of you, right? Thank you. Thanks a lot for the invitation.
Thank you, ma'am. And now I will request my hosting those to tell you all the rules and regulation of this event.
जी अरिंदम, थैंक यू एंड थैंक यू मैम फॉर योर वर्ड। तो जैसे हर कंपटीशन का एक रूल है कि उसमें रूल्स होते हैं, वैसे ही इस कंपटीशन के भी कुछ रूल्स होंगे। फर्स्ट, पार्टिसिपेंट्स को अपने चांस के टाइम पे अपना कैमरा ऑन करना कंपलसरी होगा। सेकंड, पार्टिसिपेंट अपने आर्टिकल के स्टार्ट से पहले अपने टॉपिक के बारे में ज़रूर बोलें। थर्ड, सब पार्टिसिपेंट्स को मैक्सिमम मतलब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 3 मिनट का टाइम मिलेगा। फोर्थ, पार्टिसिपेंट्स अगर किसी एंकर की मिमिक्री करना चाहे तो वो कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए उनको एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स नहीं मिलेंगे। इट विल बी प्योरली फॉर फन बेसिस। एंड लास्टली, आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप अपना कैमरा ऑन करें ताकि हम एक अच्छी सी पिक ले सकें। Everyone, please.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Ankita ma'am, with your permission, Arindam and I would like to take step ahead for our event.
For sure. Let's go for
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
journey, wonderful journey. Let's see how it works and how students participate.
Thank you, ma'am. So, guys, finally the time has come to start our event. But before that, all the best to you all, and I know you guys are gonna kill it. Okay. So, with that, we are going to start our event with our first participant, Jagwani Priyanka.
Yeah, am I audible and visible, ma'am? A very good evening, ma'am. So, here I would like to start a topic. Why PM Modi withdrew the three farm laws and the precedent from 6 years ago? Tens of thousands of Indian farmers marched overnight to reinforce protesting and camping on the outskirts of the India's capital, New Delhi, to mark a year of sustained demonstrations against three farm laws introduced last year. For ending the longest running farmers' protest that galvanized the growers across the country, Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi moved to the protesters' demand to repeal the controversial laws introduced in September 2020. Modi, striking a conciliatory note, promised his government would repeal the laws in the new session of the parliament starting next week. Farmers celebrated the retreat but said the protest would only be called off when Parliament repealed the laws and the government promised legislation that would ensure state set minimum support prices, that is MSPs, for all the products, not only just rice and wheat. Farmers across the country have reached the campsites to celebrate 1 year of historic protest, said Mr. Rakesh, a prominent leader of Bharatiya Kisan Union, one of the largest farmers' union. We thank the government for its decision to repeal the laws, but our protest will continue until there is a decision on MSP for all the crops. We also demand a committee that should look into our other demands, like taking back legal cases against the farmers. Currently, the government mainly buys rice and wheat at MSPs, but the safety net benefits barely covers 6% of the millions of farmers in India. Mr. Rakesh said nearly 700 farmers lost their lives during the protest, and the government must announce compensation for all the families. Tens of thousands of protesters, including many elderly growers and women farmers, have been sitting in encampments from the last 1 year, braving a scorching summer, frigid winter, and the severe second wave of coronavirus infections. Over the months, The main protest sites have come to the resemble semi-permanent settlements replete with the community kitchens, barber shops, and a reasonably well-equipped hospital with an on-site doctor. Thank you.
Very well done, Priyanka. So moving to our next participant, Chauhan Arun. But before him, I would request Raj to present something. Raj?
Oh, shall I do it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he is here.
Yeah, thank you, Raj. Yes. On the topic or a news article I'm going to say is that new variant Omicron, और इसमें यहाँ पे रेडियो न्यूज एंकर की तरह बताऊंगा. Yeah. आकाशवाणी से प्रस्तुत है संध्या समाचार. भारत में अभी ओमिक्रॉन संक्रमण के 2 मामले कर्नाटका में सामने आए. ओमिक्रॉन संक्रमित के एक व्यक्ति दक्षिण अफ्रीका में रहने वाला है. नेगेटिव रिपोर्ट आने के बाद वह वापस लौट गया. वहीं दूसरी संक्रमित बेंगलुरु के ही रहने वाले डॉक्टर हैं और उनकी कोई भी ट्रैवल हिस्ट्री नहीं. इन दोनों ही ओमिक्रॉन संक्रमित के सभी प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी कॉन्टैक्ट को ट्रेस कर लिया गया है. उनके संपर्क में आने वाले 5 लोग कोरोना पॉजिटिव हैं. 5 लोगों को वैक्सीन की दोनों डोज लग चुकी हैं. उनकी रिपोर्ट जेनेटिक सीक्वेंसिंग के लिए भेजी गई. ओमिक्रॉन प्रभावित देशों में अब तक 37 उड़ानें भारत आईं, जिनमें से 7,976 यात्री भारत पहुंचे. इनमें से 10 यात्री अब तक कोरोना पॉजिटिव पाए गए हैं. केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय ने ओमिक्रॉन मौजूदा हालात पर समीक्षा बैठक कर इस पर निपटने और चर्चा की. ओमिक्रॉन के मामले पूरी दुनिया में तेजी से फैल रहे हैं. अब तक कोरोना वायरस का नया वेरिएंट दुनिया के 29 देशों में फैल चुका है. इन 376 लोगों से ज्यादा लोगों को संक्रमित कर चुका. सबसे ज्यादा केस दक्षिण अफ्रीका में है. अमेरिका के कैलिफोर्निया में भी पहला केस पाया गया. संक्रमित व्यक्ति को कोरोना वैक्सीन की दोनों डोज लग चुकी. उसको हाल ही में कुछ लक्षण पाए गए. स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय के अनुसार मुख्य दर अधिक केस साउथ अफ्रीका में, उसके बाद अधिक केस नीदरलैंड, जर्मनी, पोर्टुगल और घाना जैसे देशों में दर्ज किए गए. स्वास्थ्य विशेषज्ञों के अनुसार वेरिएंट कोई भी हो, अगर मास्क लगाएं, हाथ सही से धोएं, शारीरिक दूरी और नियमों से नियमित तरीके से पालन करें तो संक्रमण की आशंका काफी कम हो जाती है. इसके अलावा कोरोना वायरस के खिलाफ टीकाकरण का भी सुरक्षा प्रदान करता है. टीके के दोनों डोज लग चुके होने के बाद गंभीर संक्रमण खतरा कम हो जाता है. ओमिक्रॉन पे टीके के बेहद असर होने का कम संभावना है. देशवासियों से निवेदन है कि कोविड नियमों का पालन करें. इसी के साथ संध्या समाचार का अंत हुआ. नमस्कार.
Wow, Arun, that was fantastic. Safety बहुत जरूरी है. So moving forward, our next participant is Soni Jill.
Very warm greetings of the day to the judge, Ms. Ankita Sharma, and to the fellow mates. So I would start with my topic, and today my topic is the wedding season, post-COVID and pre-COVID. So we all love wedding seasons, and here I would go with some of the traditionals which we have before the COVID, and what are we now doing it. So the Great Indian Marriage, there is a source saying that there would be over 25 lakh weddings in just 1 month between the date of 14th November to 13th November 2021. And this wedding, destination wedding or the wedding season is expected to bring a revenue of approx 3 lakh crore in just 1 month. So the pandemic has, yes, affected a lot of couples and families and the vendors, business partners, everybody. But now there is the way, like people are celebrating it in an intimate way, in a court marriage and a grand reception styles. So before what used to happen was there was a muhurat which needs to be taken care of for the wedding. But now, due to this corona and due to the trend going on of destination wedding, people have started booking their venue based on the date they prefer and based on the, I'm so sorry, the chosen date they prefer, as well as their favorite dates or the destination they have, or the based on price budget, such as weekends or weekdays. So here we'll go with some of the flows, I mean some of the points which covers pre-COVID and post-COVID. So with lots of booking going on nowadays, venues such as resorts offer, pre-wedding shoots, catering, decorations, everything as a package to grow their business and to make a publicity of their locations. With that, people have now also started giving their heirlooms to the bride and the grooms, so that there comes a lesser factor of fear of going out and getting infected to COVID. So what people have started matching mask, adopting their family's heirloom and wearing that, the traditional accessories. So this is the trend going on right now. With that, even during this difficult time, the wedding industry have a lot of laws going on. But as I said, 3.5 lakh crore would be the revenue within a month, within a 1 month. There are many different types of wedding going on, such as Bollywood weddings, which we have seen nowadays having a huge impact on Udaipur, Rajasthan's revenue system, which helps us to grow our GDP as so fast. So here, to conclude with that, India is a colorful nation with many regional languages. Along with that, the Indian wedding, which one sees, is a very bright and a colorful festival kind of season. So I, Jill Soni from MBA Defense Management, thank you all for hearing me and giving me a chance. Thank you so much.
It is pretty known, actually. It is pretty good. So, moving to our fourth participant, I would request Shah Kunik to present here.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is Indian government set to ban cryptocurrencies. India is set to go ahead with its plan to ban most cryptocurrencies in the country under a long-awaited bill. Expectations had grown in recent months that the government may soften its view on digital currencies. The ban would relate to all private cryptocurrencies with certain exemptions to allow the promotion of underlying technology and its uses. Cryptocurrency prices dropped on Indian exchanges after the decision on the bill's future was announced. According to a government bulletin, the ban is part of proposed cryptocurrency and regulation of official digital currency bill that will be introduced in its winter session. The value of several digital currencies reportedly dropped following the announcement of the bill. Bitcoin fell more than 13% on the Indian exchange site WazirX, while Shiba Inu and Dogecoin both dropped more than 15%. However, Mr. Glenn Goodman, author of The Crypto Trader, told the BBC World Business Report radio program that the global impact was relatively small. Even when China decided to ban cryptocurrency, and that was really big deal, it didn't completely massacre the crypto markets, he said. According to a video report by local news publication, today cryptocurrency trading is likely to continue under proposed bill as long as users buy from exchanges which meet certain requirements. Some serious concerns were that, according to the CoinDesk website, the RBL country's central bank is regarded as having conservative view about cryptocurrency. In March 2020, India's Supreme Court overturned a digital currency trading ban imposed by RBI for 2 years. And last week, RBI Governor Mr. Shaktikant Das said that the bank had serious concerns from the point of view of macroeconomic and financial stability, and that blockchain technology can thrive without cryptocurrencies. Mr. Goodman said the Chinese government wants to get rid of all the digital currencies except the one it is creating. They want to dominate cryptocurrencies, and it seems to me like the Indian government has got the same idea. They think, well, if China is doing it, then so can we. Thank you.
Thank you, Kunik. That was wonderful. Now our next participant is Dalja Krishna.
Yes. Hello. Good evening, our honorable madam, uh, and my dear friends. Myself, Krishna Adalja. Today, I am going to present my current topic is Omicron variant. The truth is our priority. We give justice to our curiosity. Latest news spotted on all the newspapers that is Omicron variant. New Delhi. A new variant named Omicron was reported by researchers in South Africa on November 20.
Sister.
Krishna, can you be a little louder?
Yes, yes. And designated a variant of concern by the World Health Organization 2 days later. Here's all you need to know about this new variant. First, what is Omicron and what makes it a variant of concern?
Krishna,
It is, yes,
can you hear me?
yes, ma'am.
Actually, you are not audible. You are hardly audible.
Now I am audible, ma'am.
No, actually.
Krishna, put your earphone mic
Now I am
near to your
audible.
mouth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Now I
now you're audible.
Yes, now audible.
Yes. Hello, good evening to our honorable madam and respected faculties and my dear friends. Today I am going to present my topic is Omicron variant. The truth is our priority. We give justice to your curiosity. Latest news spotted on all the newspaper that is Omicron variant, New Delhi. A new variant named Omicron was reported by researchers in South Africa on November 24, 2021 and designated a variant of concern by World Health Organization 2 days later. Here's all you need to know about this new variant. What is Omicron and what makes it a variant of concern? It is a new variant of SARS-CoV-2, means severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, that has recently been reported from South Africa on 24th November 2021, called as a B1.1529 Omicron. How concerned should we be about the new VOC? WHO decide as a variant as a VOC after assessment when there is increase in transmissibility or detrimental change in COVID-19 epidemiology. What precautions should we take? It is essential to mask yourself properly, take both doses of vaccines, maintain social distancing, and maintain good ventilation to the maximum possible. Will there be a third wave? Omicron cases are increasingly being reported from countries outside of South Africa, and given its characteristics, it is likely to spread to more countries, including India. Further, given the past phase of vaccination in India and high exposure to Delta variant is evidenced by high seropositivity and the severity of the disease is anticipated to be low. However, scientific evidence is still evolving. Indian government is very aware about Omicron. Also, Indian government is monitoring the situation closely and is issuing suitable guidelines from time to time. Thank you for quietly listening, Ming. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. It's good actually. So moving to our next participant, can we have Adhya Mohit?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, so good evening. My topic is on the economy, and I will be speaking like a reporter in English. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohit Adia. I welcome you to MA News broadcasting channel, Let the Truth Triumph. We aspire to bring to you crisp and latest news the earliest. Today, we bring to you good news, a positive step taken by the government to create an inclusive economy. Recently, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship announced a pilot project to train 2,500 street food vendors in Delhi under the recognition of prior learning component of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0. The project will be implemented by the Tourism and Hospitality Sector Skill Council and training partners of NSDC. The registered street food vendors will go through 4 or 5 days of counseling sessions where they will get clarity on their competencies, aptitude, interests, opportunities, and structure of the itinerary. The vendors will be educated on health and safety standards, safety provisions under COVID-19 protocols, effective communication techniques with staff and customers, new age skills such as digital literacy, financial literacy, digital payments, and e-selling. The vendors will also be supported with loans under the Mudra scheme. It will make vendors eligible for e-cart licenses, make them learn to improve the hygiene conditions in food preparation and aesthetics of vending. They will be given rupees 500 per day for 4 days of training. The objective is to impart relevant skills to street food vendors, which can lead to better services for consumers, more opportunities for revenue generation, and awareness of civic regulations. India has around 5.5 million street food vendors who contribute around 14% to the informal economy, making their upskilling vital for the economy. It will surely help in lifting the working and living conditions of the workforce. It will provide social security and safety to 4,000 vendors in East Delhi and 25 lakh street vendors nationally. Other schemes related to food vendors are PM Swanidhi scheme, Mabhi Digital, the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014, Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. That's all for the day. Thank you for tuning in today and keep watching the MA News broadcasting channel for more such news. See you tomorrow with more updates. Thank you.
Bravo, Mohit. That was great. Moving forward, our next participant is Kunvaradia Nemish.
Okay, yes.
Good evening, everybody. I am Nemish Koradia from 11th Science, and my topic is why India may not resume international commercial flights. The Ministry of Civil Aviation had on Friday announced that international scheduled commercial flights will resume from December 15 after a 21-month ban. But the bad news is India may not resume commercial international flights from December 15. As planned earlier, in the light of evolving situation of pertaining to the Omicron variant of COVID-19 virus. Why has the government decided to keep the December 15 plan in abeyance? In order to Wednesday, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation DGCA said, in the view of evolving global scenario with the emergence of new variant of concern, the situation is being watched closely in consultation with all the stakeholders and an appropriate decision indicating the effective date of resumption of scheduled commercial international passenger services shall be notified in due course. What led to decision? Following the announcement of the resumption last week, at a review meeting of COVID-19 preparedness, Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked government officials to review the plans for easing of international travel restrictions in the light of emerging new evidence. After this, a meeting chaired by the Home Secretary on Sunday decided that the decision on the effective date of resumption of scheduled commercial international flights will be reviewed as per evolving global scenario. Is international travel being restricted by other countries too? Yes. A number of countries are restricting travel for South African countries, including South Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, etc., in addition to curtailing travel from jurisdictions where the new variant has been detected. This is all for today. Thank you.
Nice one, Nimesh. Nice one. Actually, it was good. So, moving forward, can we have Desai Devanshi?
So today's my topic is Omicron. So can I start? May I start?
Yeah, sure.
This is Devanshi Desai reporting from BK News. Among many concerning topics today, like burning of Sri Lankan manager on the road in Pakistan, ongoing historic India versus New Zealand test match, detection of new COVID variant, and recovering Indian economy, I am going to highlight key developments about the new corona variant, Omicron. Omicron variant possesses a global high risk. Key developments. South Africa reported a new COVID variant on November 24, 2021. The World Health Organization classified it as a new variant of concern called Omicron and declared it as a global high risk on Saturday. As per WHO assessment, mutations on the variant may help it escape immunity and become more transmissible. Meanwhile, the Ministry of External Affairs, India, announced that it will support the Omicron-affected African countries with supplies of made-in-India vaccines, essential drugs, and medical kits. Many countries have now confirmed cases of Omicron and imposed travel restriction on at-risk nations. Here are the most important developments. The WHO assessment said that it is possible that the variant has mutations that could enable it to escape an immune system response and boost its ability to spread from one person to another. Depending on these characteristics, there could be future surges of COVID 19, which could have severe consequences. Depending on a number of factors, including where surges may take place, the overall global risk related to new variant of concern, Omicron, is assessed at very high risk, the WHO said. South African doctors say there is a rapid increase in COVID 19 cases due to new Omicron variant, but the symptoms are mostly mild. Dr. Coates, a private practitioner and chair of South African Medical Association, told the BBC and Reuters that the patient of Omicron seen so far have mild symptoms. She was the first doctor to alert the authorities about patients being infected with a new variant. Dr. Coates told Reuters that on November 18, she noticed 7 patients at her clinic that symptoms different from the dominant Delta variant, although very mild. Delhi will continue with the test, track, treat strategy amid the Omicron scare with a special focus on surveillance, isolation of positive cases, contact tracing, and strict enforcement of COVID 19 appropriate behavior. The decision was taken in a meeting to review the COVID 19 situation and emerging scenario in light of Omicron strain chaired by Delhi LG Anil Baijal. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will hold a review meeting on Tuesday regarding the possible third wave and preparation for hospitals in view of new Omicron variant of corona. BioNTech on Monday announced that it has commenced developing a vaccine for Omicron variant. However, it was unclear whether it would have to rework its established COVID-19 shot. BioNTech has begun work to develop a vaccine to address the newly found Omicron variant of the coronavirus, and experts to have a new version ready within 100 days if necessary. The United Kingdom has extended the COVID-19 vaccine booster program to all adults. This comes after 2 cases of Omicron variant of COVID-19 were detected in the country on Saturday. The total number of cases in UK is 9. Meanwhile, Scotland detects 6 Omicron COVID variant cases. In recent highlight, 2 Omicron cases have been identified from Bangalore and 1 case have been detected in Jamnagar, Gujarat. So I request everybody to take adequate precautions and stay safe. Keep watching BK News. Thank you.
Thank you, Devanshi. That was brilliant reporting. So now our next contestant is Golani Aarti.
Aarti, are you there? I think she is not present. Ma'am, we are moving forward with our next participant.
Okay.
Yeah. So our next participant is Govani Dhwani.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Can you turn on your camera?
Yeah. Visible?
Yeah, visible.
Just a second. So good evening to present over here. So my
Dhwani,
topic is
your earphone is making some noise actually. Can you just
wait, just a
reinsert it?
second. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Good evening to present over here. So my topic is Aquatic Gallery at Science City, Gujarat to house penguin shark at the latest attraction. An 800 square feet specialized enclosure is being created for the penguin and the multi-stories aquatic gallery that will also a house of a shark tank. After Humboldt Penguin made Mumbai their home, the Gujarat government has planned to get its own set of penguins. About 6 African penguins are expected to be kept under the construction Aquatic Science Gallery at Ahmedabad, Gujarat Science City. New Zealand-based Marinescape Limited will be supplying the penguins and shark, said Dhanraj Trivedi, the Secretary of Science and Technology Department. The government is planning to send back shark and grey leaf reef shark and the grey shark, which will also have a 20-meter viewing tunnel. Just a second. The government was earlier planning to source penguins from Australia or New Zealand, but finally they have decided on African penguins as the breed season of the former clashes with the timeline of the project. We will start bringing the fishes at the end of January. They will be kept on a quarantine for 4 to 5 months to ensure that they remain disease free. Thank you. Be present with us. Thank you.
Nice reporting, Dhwani. So, with that, our next contestant is Hade Princey.
Yes, ma'am.
Raj, can we have the pic?
Am I visible?
Yeah, you are.
So I am going to do a one mimicry of. So can I?
Of course.
Yeah.
So I am not going to take her name. I want you to take her name after I will do it. So may I start?
Yes.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं प्रिंसी हरडे, आपके साथ जुड़ चुकी हूं टॉप 9 खबरों के साथ। तो मैं आज लेके आई हूं टॉप 9 खबरें, तो जुड़े रहिए मेरे साथ। ओमिक्रॉन, कोरोना के इस नए वेरिएंट ओमिक्रॉन के लक्षण भी जानलेवा जारी। नाइट कर्फ्यू, ओमिक्रॉन का डर। भारत में यहां 31 दिसंबर तक लगाया गया नाइट कर्फ्यू। चक्रवाती तूफान जावद से बंगाल में भारी बारिश की संभावना। आंध्र प्रदेश के 3 तटीय जिलों में चेतावनी जारी। ओमिक्रॉन अपडेट, भारत में ओमिक्रॉन संक्रमित के संपर्क में आए 5 और लोग कोरोना पॉजिटिव, जीनोम सैंपलिंग के लिए दिए गए। ओमिक्रॉन के दस्तक के बीच यूके के पीएम ने लगवाई बूस्टर डोज, बोले मैंने अपनी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ा ली। डॉक्टर सुभाष चंद्र बोस की कोशिश लाई रंग, गोद लिए गांव किशनगढ़ ने लिखी कामयाबी की नई इमारत। किसी भी युद्ध में भारत को बढ़त दिलाने वाले मिराज फाइटर जेट के टायर की चोरी अपने आप में एक अनोखी घटना। जायडस कैडिला वैक्सीन, यूपी बिहार समेत इन राज्यों में लगेगी कोविड वैक्सीन, टीकाकरण की रफ्तार बढ़ाई गई। यूक्रेन और रूस के बीच छिड़ने वाला है युद्ध, जाने दशकों का पुराना विवाद। तो ये थी मेरी टॉप 9 न्यूज। ऐसी न्यूज पाने के लिए जुड़े रहिए मेरे साथ। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सर।
Princey, it was that Aaj Tak channel from, I don't know, like I am just guessing.
Anjanam Kashyap.
Okay, it was good actually. It was
Thank
looking
you.
like this news bulletin.
Thank you so much.
So moving forward, for our 12th participant, Hingu Jinal.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly audible and visible to all.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, good evening. Today's my topic is Omicron. नमस्कार दर्शकों, स्वागत है आपका खबरी दुनिया में। मैं हूं जिनल हिंगू, आपके लिए लेके आई हूं आज की ताजा खबर। क्या आपने कोरोना से डरना छोड़ दिया है? तो सावधान हो जाए। जी हाँ, पूरी दुनिया पर कोरोना के सबसे नए और खतरनाक वेरिएंट ओमिक्रॉन का खौफ छाया हुआ है। अफ्रीका में मिला कोरोना का ये नया वेरिएंट दुनिया के 9 देशों में दस्तक दे चुका है। हमारी प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी से हुई बातचीत में प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी ने सबको अलर्ट रहने के साथ ही वैक्सीनेशन की रफ्तार बढ़ाने पर भी जोर दिया है, क्योंकि बड़ी आबादी को अभी वैक्सीनेशन की दूसरी डोज लगनी बाकी है। भारत में कोरोना के नए वेरिएंट ओमिक्रॉन को लेके हड़कंप इसलिए भी मचा है क्योंकि पिछले 4 दिनों में ही कोरोना का सबसे खतरनाक वेरिएंट ओमिक्रॉन 9 देशों में फैल चुका है। दक्षिण अफ्रीका से निकला ये वेरिएंट यूरोप में 5 देशों तक अपने पांव पसार चुका है। अब सबसे ज्यादा खतरा इसके दक्षिणी एशियाई देशों में फैलने का बताया जा रहा है। ओमिक्रॉन के बढ़ते प्रकोप की वजह से दक्षिणी अफ्रीका में होने वाले कई स्पोर्ट्स टूर्नामेंट चैंपियनशिप्स पहले से ही होल्ड किए जा चुके हैं। अब आईसीसी ने महिला क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप के क्वालिफाइड मैच को भी रद्द कर दिया गया है। इसी के साथ हमारे और आपके कुछ ऐसे कई क्वेश्चन है जो पैदा हो रहा है कि क्या हमने जो वैक्सीनेशन का 2 डोज लिया है, क्या वो ओमिक्रॉन को मात दे पाएगा? ऐसे ही हम आपको देंगे आगे खबरें। जुड़े रहिए हमारे साथ। शुक्रिया।
Well done, Jinal. That was great. With that, now our next contestant is Joshi Kautalya.
So my photo I shared with you. So good evening everybody, Kautilya Joshi this side, and I will be presenting the latest news of the Xenodots. Now yesterday I came a very interesting and very frightening, a very unusual story caught up my attention. It's about the self-replicating robots, the robots that can copy themselves, robots that can make babies. Look, I don't want to jump into the conclusion directly, neither do I want to ask questions to the scientists who are involved in this experiment. But uh, it's at the same time very hard not to ask any question. Like, have these people never read science fiction stories that they are creating robots that can multiply themselves? I'll try to answer these questions this evening as none of the scientists were able to answer the question. Why? So these are the organisms that are being nurtured right now in the United States of America. The scientists call these xenodots. These spherical clumsies that you can see on your screen right now. These are the xenodots. These are not made up of metals or plastics. These are made up of biological tissues that can walk by themselves, that can heal themselves, that can reproduce themselves. That's what makes them the living machines, living robots. Now, how are they made? They are made by assembling the stem cells from the embryos to the synthetic form of life. Complicated, right? The scientists made 3D objects and named them as blocks in the supercomputers. The blocks used to contain the skin cells as well as the heart cells, which enabled them to move on their own, and they were given some tasks using the algorithms. And those blocks who performed the task very well were then taken to the laboratory to inject lives in them. Life taken from the African clawed frogs that can be seen in the southern part of the Africa. They are the source of life of these xenodots, and they have special ability to heal their wounds in seconds, and they can finally reproduce. Now comes in the main question: why are these xenodots here? What is their main purpose for being here? Uh, Scientists are yet to decide over that what are these will be used for. But there are many suggestions, like it can be used to clean the waterways or to destroy these cancer cells in human body. Uh, I would like to take a note of it. Take a note that these organisms can today they can reproduce by themselves. Tomorrow they could be developing a nervous system. They could develop the cognitive ability. They can take decisions on their own. Uh, it can happen anything. Like for those who have watched science fiction movies, you would probably know how can it end up. Not well, right? And here comes the scariest part of the story, that what happens if this ends up in wrong hands. I will tell you why I'm telling that, because this experiment was partially funded by the DARPA, the Department, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, the federal agency of United States that is a technological innovative items for military uses. And let me clear it for you that the involvement of military in such scientific experiments does not inspire trust at all. So that was all from my side. Thank you so much.
Nice one, Kautilya. Something new actually we came all to know. So moving forward with Kadri Lubna. Lubna, are you here? Yeah. So please turn on your mic and camera. Might not. Try from any other device. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm audible.
yeah, clearly.
Okay, so let me start. Good evening, all. I'm Lubna Kadri, and today I have got some important news for you. We have all known what is Great Depression, the Great Recession, but there is one more great to the list which is not that great, which is the Great Resignation. America sets a new world record for how many people are calling it quits. According to a new Labor Department report, 4.3 million people quit their jobs in August, which is the highest record dating back to 2000. But leading the quitters are the restaurant, hotel, and retail employees. 8,92,000 people, that is employees in food services, 7,21,000 in retail, and 1,55,000 in wholesale trade quit their jobs. But the question is, what lies in there for us? Well, more jobs are available now than ever before in the US history. 10.4 million jobs are open. But what we might wonder is why everyone is quitting their job. Well, people have wanted to quit their jobs from the beginning of time. But there is one reason that people are quitting their jobs because the pandemic has taught them or given them a million reasons to quit their job. People are facing the burnouts, the need to spend time with their families and have a balanced work life. This global data set, which was conducted by the Harvard Business Review, conducted a review of 9 million employees from across 4,000 companies, where employees from a variety of industries, functions, and level of experience were taken into consideration. And the research indicated two key trends. The first one was resignation rates are highest among mid-career employees, that is, people between the age group of 30 to 45 are quitting their jobs in against to people who are young, that is in the age group of 20 to 25. The reason is that people are facing burnout, they want work-life balance, and the highest rate of resignation is faced in the industries that had the highest demand, that is the healthcare and the tech industries. The second point that they concluded was resignations are highest in tech and healthcare industries. There are 3.6% more resignations in healthcare and 4.5% resignation raised in the technological industries. But what are Americans really looking for? They are looking for better pay, better working conditions, and more flexible working arrangements. They want to spend time with their families, with their kids, have retirement benefits. They want to drop their children to school. They want all of that, not only money. For a lot of people, pandemic has changed their minds and about life and what's important. And for some people, that means changing career. There is more to life than making money, which was realized to people in the pandemic itself. And lastly, the concluding remarks. The pandemic has forced people to reconsider whether their jobs were really how they wanted to spend their entire lives, whether they wanted to live a 9 to 5 life or whether they wanted a real life. Thank you. That's it from my side.
Outstanding, Lubna. That was great. So, ma'am, now the participant who is coming is one of the dedicated member of this club, Kunvaradia Purvanshi.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Today's report. My topic is soaring imports to push current account deficit to 1.9% this fiscal year. Following the record $23.27 billion trade deficit in November, our foreign brokerage has increased its current account deficit forecast to 1.9% of GDP at $60 billion for 2021 to 22 as compared to $45.1 billion. Trade deficit, the difference between a country's imports and exports, has been rising and remains sticky, driven by weaker reports, surging domestic activity, and higher commodity prices, a Barclays report said. Trade deficit, the difference between a country's imports, in November, trade deficit more than doubled to $23.27 billion as gold imports grew about 8% to $4.22 million, and other inbound shipments like crude surged 132.44% to $14.68 billion. The record high trade deficit in November is largely due to weaker exports, but also partly on account of ongoing strength in imports, which have remained elevated for 3 straight months. Barclays said that noted that exports moderated materially to $29.88 billion last month. The report attributed the higher import bill of $53.2 billion to the elevated commodity prices and recovering domestic demand. So this was a news from Newsville. Stay tuned for more details. Thank you.
Thank you, Purvanshi, for making new channel of Newsville only. So,
Yes.
So moving forward, our next participant is someone जिसका आप आर्ट और टैलेंट आप काफी दिनों से हमारे न्यूज विले नाम के साथ देख रहे हैं. सो नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट इज पटेल ईशानी.
थैंक यू अरिंदम. हेलो एंड नमस्ते. मैं न्यूज विले से एंड फॉर न्यूज हैंगआउट में कई सारी ताजा खबरें आई है और आज अभी मैं एक गर्मा गर्म खबर लेके आई हूँ. ગુજરાતમાં ઓમિક્રોનનો પ્રથમ કેસ જામનગરમાં નોંધાયો છે. જિમ્બાથી જામનગર આવેલા 72 વર્ષીય વૃદ્ધનો 2 ડિસેમ્બરના રોજ કોરોના પોઝિટિવ આવ્યો હતો. ઓમિક્રોનના શંકાસ્પદ લક્ષણો જોવા મળેલા હતા. ઓમિક્રોનના વૃદ્ધનો રિપોર્ટ પોઝિટિવ આવતા આરોગ્ય તંત્ર હળબળાટ થઈ ગયું, જ્યારે જામનગર શહેરમાં ફડફડાટ ફેલાઈ ગયો હતો. ગુજરાતમાં ઓમિક્રોનના પ્રથમ કેસ નોંધાતા મુખ્ય સચિવે જામનગરના કલેક્ટર અને આરોગ્ય અધિકારીઓએ સાથે રિવ્યુ મીટિંગ બોલાવી હતી અને મુખ્યમંત્રીએ પણ તાત્કાલિક રિવ્યુ મીટિંગ બોલાવી હતી. 3 લોકોના રિપોર્ટ આવવાના બાકી છે. વિદેશથી આવેલા 450 લોકોના 30 નવેમ્બરે સેમ્પલ લેવામાં આવ્યા હતા અને 1 ડિસેમ્બરે ટેસ્ટિંગ માટે સેમ્પલ પુણે મોકલવામાં આવ્યા હતા. તેના રિપોર્ટ આજે આવવાના હતા. 4 કોરોનાના પોઝિટિવ અને 1 ઓમિક્રોન પોઝિટિવ આવતા તંત્ર દોડતું થઈ ગયું છે, ત્યારે 3 લોકોના પોઝિટિવ આવવાના બાકી છે. 1 ઓમિક્રોન રિપોર્ટ પોઝિટિવ આવતા તંત્ર દ્વારા 87 લોકોને ટ્રેસ કરવામાં આવ્યા છે. ઓમિક્રોન વેરિયન્ટના ટેસ્ટ નોંધાતા આરોગ્ય તંત્ર થયું દોડતું. જામનગરમાં 3 દિવસે પૂર્વે એક પરિવારના 7 લોકો કોરોના પોઝિટિવ આવ્યા હતા, જ્યારે આજે ઘાતક ગણાતા નવા ઓમિક્રોન વેરિયન્ટનો કેસ નોંધાતા આરોગ્ય તંત્ર દોડતું થયું છે. આ દર્દીને આઇસોલેશન વોર્ડમાં દાખલ કરવામાં આવ્યો છે. કોરોના પોઝિટિવ જાહેર થયેલા દર્દીના નમૂના પણ પુણે લેબમાં મોકલી આપવામાં આવ્યા છે. નવા વેરિયન્ટથી ભારતમાં એન્ટ્રી થઈ ચૂકી છે, ત્યારે આફ્રિકાની ટ્રાવેલ હિસ્ટ્રી ધરાવતા દર્દીના રિપોર્ટ પર સવિશેષ નજર રાખવામાં આવી છે. ધન્યવાદ.
That was great reporting, Ishani. Thank you so much. So now our next participant is Patel Rahul.
Rahul is not present here. He is traveling somewhere, so he has messaged me so that he can't be able to join us. So moving forward with our 18th participant, Patel Rajvi.
Okay. Thank you, Arindam.
Yeah, just a second.
Myself, Patel.
Rajvi, just a second. Ma'am, I have talked about her with you earlier also for camera actually.
Yes, one student was there. You were discussing with me.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, fine. Yes.
Carry on.
ओके मैम। ओके मैम, थैंक यू अरिंदम, थैंक यू मैम। मैं पटेल राजवी आज आप सबके सामने एक रिपोर्ट दर्ज करना चाहूंगी गुजराती में। सो shall I start? પોક્સો પ્રોટેક્શન ઓફ ચિલ્ડ્રન ફ્રોમ સેક્સ્યુઅલ ઓફેન્સ ભારતીય કોર્ટોના ઇતિહાસનો સૌથી ઝડપી ચુકાદો બળાત્કાર કર્યાના એક જ દિવસમાં આરોપીને આજીવન કેદની સજા જેને ભારતની કોર્ટોના ઇતિહાસમાં અત્યાર સુધીનો સૌથી ઝડપી ચુકાદો ગણવામાં આવે છે એવા એક ઘટનાક્રમમાં બિહારના અરરિયા જિલ્લાની પોક્સો કોર્ટે 8 વર્ષની બાળકી ઉપર બળાત્કાર કરનાર બળાત્કારીને તેનો ગુનો કર્યાના એક જ દિવસમાં કોર્ટ કાર્યવાહી સંપન્ન કરી આજીવન કારાવાસની સજા ફટકારી દીધી હતી, જે આપણા ભારત માટે ખૂબ જ ગૌરવ માનવામાં આવે છે। દેશભરની તમામ પોક્સો કોર્ટ પૈકી અરરિયાની પોક્સો કોર્ટ દ્વારા અપાયેલા આ ચુકાદાને અત્યાર સુધીનો સૌથી ઝડપી ચુકાદો ગણવામાં આવે છે। સાક્ષીઓ, વાદી અને પ્રતિવાદી પક્ષની દલીલોનું રેકોર્ડિંગ કરીને આરોપીને ગુનેગાર જાહેર કર્યો। પોક્સો કોર્ટના સ્પેશિયલ જજ શશિકાંત રાયે ગુનેગારને આજીવન કેદની સજા ફટકારવા ઉપરાંત ₹50,000નો દંડ પણ ફટકાર્યો હતો। તે ઉપરાંત જજે ગુનેગારને પીડિત બાળકીના ભાવિ જીવનના પુનઃવસન માટે ₹7 લાખનું વળતર ચૂકવવાનો પણ આદેશ આપ્યો હતો। અલબત્ત કોર્ટ દ્વારા આ મુજબનો આદેશ ગત 4 ઓક્ટોબરના રોજ કરવામાં આવ્યો હતો, પરંતુ આ કેસને લગતી ઓર્ડર શીટ 26 નવેમ્બરના રોજ ઉપલબ્ધ કરવામાં આવી હતી। આ કેસની વિગતો ઉપર 8 વર્ષની બાળકી ઉપર ગત 22 જુલાઈના રોજ બળાત્કાર ગુજારવામાં આવ્યો હતો અને તેના બીજા જ દિવસે FIR નોંધી લેવામાં આવી હતી। અરરિયાના મહિલા પોલીસ સ્ટેશન ઇન્ચાર્જ ઓફિસર રીટા કુમારીએ આ કેસ ઉપર ચાંપતી નજર રાખી હતી। પત્રકારો સાથે વાત કરતા પોક્સો કોર્ટના સરકારી વકીલ શ્યામલાલ યાદવે કહ્યું હતું કે અરરિયા પોક્સો કોર્ટ દ્વારા જે ચુકાદો આપવામાં આવ્યો છે તે દેશનો અત્યાર સુધીનો સૌથી ઝડપી ચુકાદો છે અને આ ચુકાદાએ મધ્યપ્રદેશના દતિયા જિલ્લાની પોક્સો કોર્ટ દ્વારા 2018માં જે 3 દિવસમાં આપવામાં આવેલા ચુકાદાને પાછળ રાખીને પ્રથમ નંબર પ્રાપ્ત કરી લીધો હતો। તો આવી જ ખબરો સાથે જોડાઈ રહો। થેન્ક યુ સો મચ મેમ।
Brilliant, Rajvi. Thank you. So now the next participant is my co-host cum dost of the evening, Satpati Arindam.
Yeah, thank you. So now as we have created News Village channel also, so from that I am presenting for cricket section. In today's second match of India versus New Zealand, New Zealand's Azhar Patel on December 4 became the third player to take all 10 wickets in an innings. This happened during the second day of the test match against India at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. The other two international players are England's Jim Laker and India's Anil Kumble. Jim Laker achieved this feat against Australia in 1956. Jim Laker took 19 wickets in that match. In 1999, Anil Kumble took all the 10 wickets against Pakistan in New Delhi. Azhar rattled the home team in the first section with wickets in successive balls to be on a hat-trick before overnight batsman Mayank Agarwal scored 150 to help India to a challenging total. India has set a target of 325 for 10 wickets, and in that also all the 10 wickets was taken by Azhar Patel. In response, India has bowled well and got all the New Zealand players out at the score of 62. In that, the major bowling main bowling person was Ravichandran Ashwin, bowling 8 overs, giving 8 runs and taking 4 main wickets. In the second inning for India, India has scored 69 for not out till now. For further update, we will contact you. Thank you.
That was great, Arindam. Thank you for the cricket news.
Thank you. Yeah, so now carrying forward with my anchoring position only. So our next participant is Chauhan Dhia. Chauhan Dhia. Yeah.
Thank you, Arindam. Good evening, ma'am, and everyone present here. My article is दिल्ली की तेज नजर। ओके सर। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूँ दिया चौहान। स्वागत है आपका आज की बात दिया के साथ में। हाल ही में दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के द्वारा बताया गया है कि सीसीटीवी कवरेज में दिल्ली ने दुनिया के सारे बड़े बड़े देशों को पीछे छोड़ दिया है। इन देशों में लंदन, पेरिस, फ्रांस, वॉशिंगटन, न्यूयॉर्क जैसे कई बड़े बड़े देश शामिल हैं। दुनिया भर के 150 बड़े देशों में ये सर्वे किया गया है और दिल्ली में इनमें नंबर 1 पर आया है। फिलहाल बात करते हैं द्वितीय फेज का काम खत्म हुआ है और पूरे शहर में 4 लाख से भी ज्यादा कैमरे लगा दिए गए हैं। इस कदम से क्राइम रेट में भारी गिरावट आने की संभावना है। आज के लिए बस इतना ही, फिर मिलेंगे एक नई खबर, एक नई बात के साथ।
Incredible, Diya.
शुक्रिया दोस्तों।
Sorry. Incredible, Diya. That was great. So now the next 21st participant is Shah Tirth.
Yes, just a second. I am audible? Hello.
Yeah, you are.
I am audible?
Yeah.
ઓકે, નમસ્કાર દર્શક મિત્રો, હું તીર્થ શાહ. આસપાસ સમાચાર તરફથી આપ સર્વેનું હાર્દિક સ્વાગત છે. અને આજના આપણા ચા સાથે ચર્ચામાં આપણે જોઈએ તે પહેલા આપણે સમાચારોના સામાજિક મુદ્દાઓ પર દ્રષ્ટિ પ્રયાસ કરી લઈએ. પહેલો મુદ્દો એ છે કે નવેમ્બરમાં અત્યાર સુધીનું બીજું સૌથી વધુ 1.31 લાખ કરોડનું જીએસટી કલેક્શન કરવામાં આવ્યું છે. બીએસસીમાં ગુજરાતી રોકાણકારોનો 1 કરોડને પાર થયા છે. ગત વર્ષ કરતા 32% તેમાં વધારો થયો છે. ત્રીજો મુખ્ય મુદ્દો એ છે કે રાજ્યમાં 108 જિલ્લામાં માવઠાની પરિસ્થિતિ સર્જાઈ છે. સૌ પ્રથમ આપણે વિગતે સમાચાર જોઈએ. પ્રથમ સમાચાર, નવેમ્બરમાં અત્યાર સુધીનું સૌથી બીજું 1.31 લાખ કરોડ જીએસટીનું કલેક્શન કરવામાં આવ્યું છે. લોકડાઉનની પરિસ્થિતિ સુધરતા દેશનું આર્થિક તંત્ર મજબૂત બન્યું છે અને દેશમાં કુલ જીએસટીના 1.31 લાખ કરોડ રૂપિયાનું વસૂલાત થઈ છે, જેમ જે અત્યાર સુધીનું સૌથી બીજું વધુ કલેક્શન છે. નવેમ્બર 2020 જીએસટી કલેક્શન કરતા 25% વધારે છે અને નવેમ્બર 2019 કલેક્શન કરતા 27% વધારે છે. નિષ્ણાંતોના મતે ઓક્ટોબર નવેમ્બરમાં તહેવારોના પગલાને આધારે જીએસટી કલેક્શનમાં વધારો થયો છે. નવેમ્બર મહિનામાં દેશની કુલ નિકાસ 26.49% વધીને 29.88 અબજ ડોલર થઈ છે, જેના હિસાબે આ પરિણમ્યું છે. બીજો મુખ્ય મુદ્દો, બીએસસીમાં ગુજરાતી રોકાણકારોનો 1 કરોડને પાર થઈ ગયા છે. મુંબઈ બોમ્બે સ્ટોક એક્સચેન્જમાં ગુજરાતી રોકાણકારોની સંખ્યા 1,18,777 થઈ છે. એપ્રિલ 2021 થી અત્યાર સુધીમાં દર મહિને રાજ્યમાં અંદાજે 2.50 લાખ નવા રોકાણકારો શેરબજારોમાં પ્રવેશી રહ્યા છે. તે ખૂબ જ સરાહનીય પ્રવૃત્તિ છે, કેમ કે રોકાણકારો રોકાણ દ્વારા પોતાનું બચત મેળવી શકે છે. અગાઉના વર્ષો કરતા ગુજરાત રોકાણકારોમાં 24 લાખનો વધારો થયો છે, જે 32% સીધો વધારો દર્શાવે છે. દરમિયાન બુધવારે જીડીપીના સારા પરિણામો સહિતના પરિબળોના પગલે સેન્સેક્સમાં 619 પોઈન્ટનો ઉછાળો આવ્યો હતો. નિફ્ટી પણ 183.70 પોઈન્ટનો ઉચક્યો હતો. ઓમિક્રોન ભય છતાં ખરીદદારોમાં ઉત્સાહ જોવા મળ્યો હતો. ત્રીજો મહત્વનો મુદ્દો, રાજ્યમાં 108 જિલ્લામાં અને તાલુકાઓમાં માવઠાની પરિસ્થિતિ સર્જાઈ છે, જેમાં ઉમરાપાડામાં 1.5 ઇંચ, ખાંભા ઉનામાં 1 ઇંચ પાણી અને સૌરાષ્ટ્ર અને દક્ષિણ ગુજરાતમાં વધુ નુકસાન આવ્યું છે. જેમાં હવામાન વિભાગે કરેલી આગાહી અનુસાર 2 ડિસેમ્બરથી ગુજરાતમાં વરસાદી માહોલ જોવા મળેલો છે. આ શિયાળે સામાન્ય ઠંડી રહેશે અને કાતિલ ઠંડીના દિવસો ઓછા રહેશે તેવું હવામાન વિભાગે જાહેરાત કરી છે. ટૂંકા ગાળામાં બીજી વાર માવઠું થવાથી રવિ પાકને ખૂબ જ નુકસાન પરિણમ્યું છે અને સુરતના વરાછા વિસ્તારમાં એક લગ્ન પ્રસંગમાં લોકોએ જમણવારમાં છત્રી ઓઢીને લગ્ન પ્રસંગમાં હાજરી આપવી પડી હતી તથા જમણવાર રાખવો પડ્યો હતો તેવું દ્રશ્યનું સર્જન થયું છે. આના કારણે ખેડૂતોને નુકસાન થવાથી આર્થિક પરિસ્થિતિ ઉપર પણ ખૂબ જ માઠી અસર પડી છે. વધુ સમાચાર આવતા અંકે. થેન્ક યુ. આભાર. ધન્યવાદ.
Thank you, Tirth. It was cool. So moving towards our youth, that means like not youth, actually it is from IMBA student, one of the excited student I have seen, Shingala Utsav.
Am I clearly audible or visible?
Yeah, but invisible. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Raj, can you? Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, no need for it.
Okay.
Sir, इसकी जरूरत नहीं है.
Okay, ठीक है, no issue. Raj, thank you.
Shall I start?
Yeah, please.
नमस्कार देशवासियों, मैं हूं उत्सव सिंघाड़ा और आप मेरे साथ जुड़ गए हैं बीके न्यूज पर। आज पूरे देश में दिवाली की तैयारी जोर शाम से चल रही, लेकिन पाकिस्तान जो हमारे बाजू में रही वो बवासीर है जो हमारी उंगली करता ही रहता है। पाकिस्तान की पाकिस्तान को हमारी खुशी देखी नहीं जाती। पाकिस्तान ने आज सुबह ठीक 11 बजे एलओसी पर उड़ी कुपवाड़ा में आतंकवादियों से हमला किया। पाकिस्तान ने गोलीबारी से हमला किया, लेकिन हमारे सेनाओं ने भी उसका मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया। हमारे भारत के वीरों ने भी पाकिस्तानी फौजियों की नानी याद दिला दी। हमारे भारत के वीरों ने पाकिस्तानी 8 जवानों को मार दिया और 30 से भी ज्यादा जवानों को घायल कर दिया, लेकिन बदनसीबी भी हमारे भी 5 जवान शहीद हो गए। पाकिस्तान और इमरान खान, मेरी बात ध्यान से सुन लो, ये 2020 का भारत है, 1947 का नहीं कि गांधी जी की तरह आंदोलन करेंगे। ये समय पर जवाब देने में विश्वास रखता है। भूल गए हो बालाकोट की स्ट्राइक, तुम्हारे घर पे आकर तुम्हारे सिपाही को मारा था। भूल गए हो ओरी के सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक, तुम्हारी आतंकवादियों की टेंट को हमने उड़ा दिया था। भूल गए हो 1990 का कारगिल युद्ध, क्यों आपके बंकर हमारे इंडिया में पड़े, लेकर तो जाओ, वो सब छोड़ के भाग गए थे। पाकिस्तान लास्ट टाइम है, अपनी लिमिट में रहो, वरना मुंह तोड़ जवाब मिलेगा। अगर गोली का जवाब हम लोग गोलों से नहीं कट्टों से देते हैं। थैंक यू।
That was wonderful, Utsav, Arnab Goswami. So moving to our
Actually,
next.
we should call him like Utsav Arnab.
Yes. So moving to our next participant, that is Trivedi Devanshi.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. A very good evening to everyone present over here. Today my topic is education system, and I am reading the news on the occasion of National Education Day that was on 11th November. So, education is the backbone of society and plays an important role in developing knowledge, personality, and requisite skill sets. On National Education Day, Mauli Ganguly assessing Masati Ansoya's character in mythological Gatha, Bal Shiv talks about the paradigm shift in education and ancient Gurukul system has been the epitome in learning and what it teaches us. Elaborating on it, Mauli Ganguly says, Masati Ansoya's shares the education system has evolved a lot from the ancient learning style to digital classrooms learning today. In Gurukul system, students would reside at their guru's place to learn all the skill sets and gain a wide knowledge on various subjects, matters, ranging from Vedas, nature medicines, to warfare history, philosophy, and other competencies to deal with real life problems. Also, the bond between the guru and Shishya was stronger, which abide in disciplining and disciple. Self-realization was the core of this style of education and was considered a unique way of learning. In Bal Shiv, I assign Mahasati Ansuya's character, the headmistress of the Gurukul. This learning system adopted a unique approach towards education as it focused on the holistic development of the students. The gurus would not only equip their students with academics but guide them to become fine human beings equipped with all worldly knowledge and requisite skill sets. Shedding light on education's significance, Mowgli adds that education is the strongest weapon of humankind to fight against all life problems and shape their future. This is one of the best gifts we can give to our children. The National Education Day commemorates the birth anniversary of India's first education minister, that is APJ Abdul Kalam, a renowned educationist who played a crucial role in shaping education system in India. Wishing everyone a very happy National Education Day. Thank you.
Yeah, Devanshi, it was very amazing. Absolutely. So, moving forward with Varmora Hari Krishna.
I think she is not here.
Okay.
So, coming to our next participant, last but not the least, is Goria Yashika.
Hello. I'm ready. Shall I start?
Yes.
My topic is disinvestment in Air India, and the phraseology is inspired by Robin Maddy. Good evening, sunshine. Welcome to Newsroom Hangout event. This is the way we biggest news stories from India and across the world. My name is Yashika, and the truth is my priority. By giving justice to your curiosity, latest news spotted here only on Newsroom Hangout event, giving you the most credible news on the disinvestment in Air India. Here are some headlines. Tata Sons SPV Chalice Private Limited wins bid for Air India. The winning bid is for rupees 18,000 crore as the enterprise value considered for Air India. This investment process considered out in transport manner with a due regard to confidentiality of binders through the multi-layer decision making. Next step is insurance of letter of intent and signing of purchase agreement, and the transaction is expected to be completed within this December. Here are some details. The Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs empowered Air India specific alternative mechanism comprises of Union Ministry for Affairs and Cooperation, Union Ministry Finance and Current Affairs, Union Ministry for Commerce and Industry, Civil Aviation Minister approved the highest price bid for Messrs. Thales Private Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of Messrs. Tata Sons Private Limited for scale of 100% equity shareholding of Government of India in Air India along with the equity shareholding of Air India. Do you know what is disinvestment? Disinvestment means the sale or liquidation of assets by the government, usually when the central and the state public sector undertakings or the other fixed assets. Government undertakes disinvestment to reduce the fiscal burden or to reduce the money for meeting specific needs such as the bridge revenue shortfall from other regular sources. Strategic disinvestment is transfer of ownership and control of public sector entity to private sector entity. And the economic potential of such activities may be better discovered in hands of strategic investors due to the various factors such as technology upgradation and efficient management practices. And that's all for today's sizzling news. Once again, I'm Yashika delivering the news from the worldwide towards one united direction. This is the United Rare Center. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Yashika, for this wonderful end touch of this event. So now we are done with all our participants. End of an event comes with some learning for everyone. So moving forward, I would request again everyone actually this time to turn on your camera. Last time there was new photos. Few people are there who have not on their camera. So I would request everyone this time, please. Kautilya, you can have that guitar in your head. No issue. I would request everyone, please. Kunj, Diya, Devanshi, Dhwani, Yashika, yeah. Devanshi, Dhwani, can you also? Yeah. Raj, please have it. Done? Yeah. Ankita, let's carry forward.
Okay, thank you. So before we have the name of the winners of this energetic evening, I would request our honorable judge, Professor Ankita Sharma, to give her feedback.
It was a very awesome newsroom, and literally some of the students were speaking. I was getting that feel that either I'm sitting in an Akashvani or listening Akashvani, or I was in the newsroom. So it was a wonderful experience with all of you. All of you tried so well, and it was wondrous performance by the students. all of them actually really did well. They all of you are actually winner, and I congratulate all of you for the excellent anchoring efforts. And you all did create a wonderful settings, and which depict actually the glorious confluence of top class skills and hardcore efforts by all of you. And I'm humbled to be judged in this contest, and where everyone is a winner, but I am the actual gainer to learn these many things from all of you students. So yes, students and my dear students, I have gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom from this event. Thanks a lot, my dear students, for giving me much today for learning, and thanks a lot to all of you for giving me this gainful occasion. I have no words actually, but I really enjoyed in the in thorough session. It was wonderful from all of you. All the students were participated with full enthusiasm, full energy, and it was awesome to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I know you all might be waiting to hear the names of winners, but before that, I would like to thank our respected judge of event, Professor Ankita Alok Sharma, to be with us. Thank you, ma'am. Then all the participants to make this event so successful. And at last but not the least, the heart and hands of this club. I mean, all the members of Newsville who have worked dedicatedly and at night also to make this event awesome and amazing. Thanks to you, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. So now I'm requesting ma'am to you announce the name of the winner, champion of this hangout room. Newsroom hangout, sorry. Newsroom hangout.
Can I take just 2 minutes of your? I have to write on the paper first, second, third rank, and then I'll speak. Just a minute.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Just wait.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes.
Ankita or Arindam, can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
एक्चुअली में मैं पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर सका कुछ इश्यू के कारण, बट मुझे लगा, मैंने देखा, बहुत लोगों का देखा, मैंने बीच में 2-3 बार लीव भी हो गया, बट 2-3 मतलब बहुत अच्छे, मतलब क्या बोलूं अब, कैसे कैसे, मतलब मैंने मिस बहुत किया, मतलब मुझे भी इस कंपटीशन में पार्ट लेना था और आई थिंक मैं था, तो मतलब कंपटीशन होती, बहुत ज्यादा होती, एक तीर्थ का अच्छा था, बहुत लोगों का, मतलब किसी के तो नाम भी मुझे याद नहीं है, मतलब ये उत्सव था कुछ, फिर क्या नाम है उनका, जस्ट अ सेकंड, मैं नाम बोलना चाहूंगा, उत्सव था, अरुण था, और सॉरी मैम आ गए, आप पहले मैम का खत्म कर लो फिर.
Yeah, okay.
And the winners are, as per all the variables, I have sincerely marked them. Actually, all of you are winners, but still, if we have to decide, still, there are many people whom I want to give many rewards, but students were many and ranks were 3, so I divided it in the numbers you can see. I'll let you know. Rank 3, 2 students actually stood on it. First is rank 3, Voria Yashika and Hade Princey.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, ma'am.
No, it was actually very good. I hear every one of you with all your personality and every factor was considered sincerely, and you actually deserve this. Then we have rank 2, wherein again 2 students are there, Chauhan Arun. Chauhan Arun was actually very good. Akashwani feeling was there, and Trivedi Devanshi is there on it. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And rank 1 is Adya Mohit. His conversation quality was actually very good, and it was really he spoke very good on economy. So that is how I have given the rank. I hope I have justified my position.
Yes, ma'am. Clearly. Congratulations, all of you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
And you know what, students, in my eyes, everybody is a winner. And this is just a format wherein we have to put the students in a ranking system. So we took all the parameters I took, and sincerely I marked them. So I hope I have justified, right? And it was fun with all of you. What a wondrous evening I spent with all of you. It was really like a newsroom. I was sitting and hearing all of you. What a wonderful evening. Thanks, all of you. And congratulations to the winners. And special thanks to Arindam and Ankita for hosting this event so efficiently and nicely. So, yes, it was a wonderful evening. Thanks, all of you. Right? And Arindam, I'll send you the that Excel sheet on WhatsApp
Okay, ma'am.
within a few minutes, right?
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. So
Thank you,
I
Thank
think
you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
welcome all of you. It was wonderful, right? Bye.
So congratulations, all of you, and thank you again to be with us. Have a great night and weekend. Take time sending the name in the group. Don't worry. I will send the names.
Bye, students.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.